Vajracharya, Ashtoshattra Shatra is Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai, Prem se kaho jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Shri Gaur Bhakta Vrinda, Granthraha Shrimad Bhagavatam ki jai ho. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna everybody, I would like to welcome you all for our today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today we are reading from Canto 4 entitled as The Creation of the Fourth Order, and today we're going to read out from chapter number 4, which is entitled as Sati Quits Her Body, and today we have text number 19. Na Vedavadan Anuvartate Matihi Sva Eva Loke Ramato Mahamunehe Yatha Gatir Deva Manusyoho Prathag Sva Eva Dharme Na Param Shipet Sthitaha Na Vedavada Anuvartate Matihi Sa eva loke ramato mahamunehe Yatha gatir deva manusyo partha Sa eva dharme na param shipe sthitaha. Na, not, Vedavadan, rules and regulations of the Vedas. Anuvartate, follow. Matihi, the mind. Sve, in his own. Eva, certainly. Loke, in the self. Ramataha, enjoying. Mahamunehe, of elevated transcendentalists. Yatha, as. Gatihi, the way. Deva Manusyoho, of the man and the demigods. Prathak, separately. Sve, in your own. Eva, alone. Dharme, occupational duty. Na, not. Param, another. Shipet, should criticize. Titaha, being situated. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. It is better to execute one's own occupational duty than to criticize others. Elevated transcendentalists may sometimes forego the rules and regulations of the Vedas, since they do not need to follow them. Just as the demigods travel in space, whereas ordinary men travel on the surface of the earth. Purport. The behavior of the most elevated transcendentalists and that of the most fallen conditioned souls appears to be the same. The elevated transcendentalists can surpass all the regulations of the Vedas, just as the demigods traveling in space surpass all the jungles and rocks on the surface of the globe. Although a common man who has no such ability to travel in space has to face all those impediments. Although the most dear Lord Shiva appears not to observe all the rules and regulations of the Vedas, he is not affected by such disobedience. But a common man who wants to imitate Lord Shiva is mistaken. A common man must observe all the rules and regulations of the Vedas, which a person who is in the transcendental position does not need to observe. Daksha found fault with Lord Shiva for not observing all the strict rules and regulations of the Vedas. But Sati, asserted that he had no need to observe such rules. It is said that for one who is powerful like the sun or the fire, there is no consideration of purity or impurity. The sunshine can sterilize an impure place, whereas if someone else were to pass such a place, he would be affected. One should not try to imitate Lord Shiva. Rather, one should strictly follow one's prescribed occupational duties. One should never vilify a great personalities like Shiva. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadahmayam Dadati Swaha Padantikam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashati Deshatarani Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Shri Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So today's verse is the answer to Daksha by his own daughter Sati, because in chapter 2 here, which says Daksha curses Lord Shiva, verse number 13, he said something which is not very pleasant to the eyes of other Vaishnavas. Because when Lord Shiva heard this, it didn't affect him. Because the rules and regulation, honor and dishonor for a transcendentalist who is above the three modes of material nature doesn't affect him at all. He just ignored it. He just heard, didn't respond, didn't react for anything. He was being neutral. So that is the sign of an advancement. In this text number 13 of chapter 2, Daksha says, I had no desire to give my daughter to this person, to Shiva, who has broken all the rules of civility. Because of not observing the required rules and regulations, he is impure. But I was obliged to hand over my daughter to him, just as one teaches the message of the Vedas to a Sudra. So today's verse we see how Mother Sati, when she heard all the blasphemy against her husband, because all the associates of Lord Shiva, when they went there with Lord Shiva, and one sense she was also there somewhere, and she heard what her father had said to her husband. And to answer that question, which Daksha was so puffed up, because it shows how strictly he was following the rules and regulations of the Vedas. But here, she completely defeats him from the another Vedas. She says, a transcendentalist doesn't have to follow all those things. It's completely doesn't have to follow on those things. Because in the Vedic scriptures, there are two types of people. Okay, they don't follow the Vedas, all the rules and regulations of the Vedic instruction. The first is the person who is in completely mode of ignorance. Okay, he doesn't follow at all. For him, the destination is hell, or the punishment is there waiting for him or her. And the second one is the person who is completely liberated or completely transcendently. He doesn't follow. So the Vedas, the rules and regulations for the completely conditioned soul, those who are stuck in this material world and they want to be independent all the time. To remind them that you are not independent, you are still under the control of the material energy, we have to follow the rules and regulations of the Vedas. Okay? And the example has given here because there are different levels of human beings are living on a different planets. And they have different lifestyle, they have different time frames, and they have different whatever the strategy and many things you can add it. But if the person who is on an earthly planet, he doesn't have a power to travel in the air, if he says that, in terms of seeing the demigods, those who can fly, he can say, look at that, these people are not following the rules and regulations. They don't need to do, because they are much highly elevated. Let me give you an example. I don't know about here in America, but in India, if any minister or a big personality, when they go on the road, so the traffic signs and many other signals are not meant for them. Have you seen it? They just block everything just to let them go, because they are so important personalities. They have many more important things to do for the welfare of the human society. So they do not follow. But the ordinary people, they do get stopped. They have to follow the lights, they have to let the pedestrian go, and there are many other things they need to follow. No, they do follow, but they don't follow, the punishment is waiting for them in the form of fines. We can see that. The police catch them, or somebody else catch them, or they met with an accident. It's not that they don't follow, but those who don't follow, they have to bear the consequences of their mistakes. And here, the same thing is happening with this Lord Shiva here. Okay? What is lifestyle? If you see, what is lifestyle?
His lifestyle?
Yeah.
He's naked.
Yeah, he's completely naked. But if a person of this material world walk naked, people will call him mad. Okay? Instead of, in material world, people, they do wear kind of a perfume. They smear sandalwood pulp and many other things to groom themselves. But Lord Shiva, he smears the body, so the ashes of a dead body. Okay? People wear garland, okay, made of flowers, and he wears the garland made of skulls, bones. People like to live in a hotel or a very sophisticated place, okay, very posh area, very fancy, clean area. But where is his place? Most of the time, he lives in crematorium, okay, or under the banyan tree. But what is main activity? What he's doing? He's constantly meditating at the lotus feet of the Lord Supreme, Lord Shri Hari. That's his main focus, and he doesn't have to do it. But when the people, they get jealous out of envy by seeing the advancement or the position of other person, they, out of jealousy, they blaspheme the person. That's what the Daksha did. Okay, Daksha is also not an ordinary person. He was being appointed by his father, Lord Brahma. He was doing a work of the Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord Vishnu told Brahmaji, now you do the creation. Okay, I gave you all the ingredients, take it and just do the population. And further, he expanded himself into many other living entities. The great seven sages, Chatur Kumaras, and Lord Shiva, everything has come out. And he asking everybody, please kindly engage yourself to populate this world. He's not an ordinary person, but sometime in the material world, the position is so intoxicated, the person forgets even to blaspheming the person who gave him the position. He tried to rule over the person who gave him the position. If you see in the case of Daksha here, who gave him the position to be the head of all the Prajapatis? Brahmaji. Brahmaji gave him the position, you are the head. As soon as he entered the arena, the whole world, all the great sages, they all stood up for his honor. Everybody, there were thousands and millions of people were there. They all accept the two personalities, Brahmaji and Shiva. So Daksha said, okay, anyway, the person who is my father, he should not meant to stand up for me, I can understand. But how about this naked man, this uncivilized man, why he shouldn't? Because he was seeing himself superior from many angles. First angle, I am his father-in-law. So I am on the position of as father. Second, I am the great Prajapatis. I am more advanced than him. and then many more things unfold. Okay, due to that intoxication, being a superior person in the society, he started blaspheming, not recognizing the actual position of Lord Shiva, who he is actually. In a Manasiksha, I'm just reading that nowadays, in the fifth verse of that Manasiksha, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami says that on the path of bhakti, a person meets 6 kinds of enemies. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mad, Matsarya. Kama, lust. Krodha, anger. Lobha, greed. Mada, illusion. And Matsya, enviness. These 6, they are on a highway. They are there to attack you, a spiritual practitioner. They are there to attack. They are there to defeat the person. And in the 6th verse, Raghunath Das Goswami very beautifully explained, even if a spiritual practitioner has defeated these 6 enemies, still he will be attacked by hypocrisy and deceit. Which means you show the world that you are not what you are showing. Sometimes devotees show themselves in cause of maturity, try to put themselves in the category of such an advanced Vaishnava that they don't want to follow the rules and regulations. And it says in that verse, I would like to read just a couple of paragraphs, please stay with me. It says, there are 3 levels of sadhakas, means there are 3 levels of spiritual practitioners. Okay, they are engaged in the service of the Lord. Fully. Externally you look, this person is so focused, okay, so dedicated to the Lord. Everybody feels that, but internally he has to fight with himself. He knows what he is, Lord knows what he is, Guru knows what he is. But just to have a name and fame in the society, to have a prestige in the society, he shows himself he is such an advanced person. Okay, the first level is Swanishtha. It say Swanishtha householders, devotee, it's not just only householder, it could be in any of the ashramas. It meant for brahmachari, householder, vanaprastha and sannyasi. It meant for everybody. But it says Swanishtha householder, devotees only try to please Krishna without the need of varna ashram dharma. Okay, and because being puffed off of their position, what they do, a Swanishtha devotee may exhibit hypocrisy by seeking sense enjoyment instead of pleasing the Lord, serving rich materialistic instead of Vaishnava. Let me have some friendship with the rich people, okay, because rich people will take care of my bodily needs. They will buy some jackets for me, they will buy some phones for me, they will buy some tickets for me to go and here and there. Desiring to accumulate wealth and opulence, or engaging in twisted logic instead of spiritual knowledge. Instead of giving them the right hammering, cutting their detachment, they present the spiritual knowledge in such a way that these people to whom he is preaching, they will help him for his bodily need, for his material opulence. You know what, Mataji, Prabhuji, Veda says such a lie that if you serve such an elevated Vaishnava, fulfill all his need, you will go back to Godhead. Instead of engaging them in actual Vaishnava service, he put himself in the Vaishnava's position. What Srila Prabhupada says, who is actual Vaishnava? A Vaishnava, he sees other Vaishnava, other people who are engaged in the service, and he himself as a neophyte devotee. But here, he himself calls, I'm a very great Vaishnava, so you should all have to engage in my service. Now the second level of a sadhaka, which is a spiritual practitioner. Parinishta householder, devotee worship the Lord by engaging in prescribed activities and rituals. You know, they do all sorts of rituals. So now, what is the hypocrisy here? A Parinishta devotee may exhibit hypocrisy by pretending to be very strict, following the rules and regulations, but privately being attached to mundane things, or by preferring the company of non-devotees. They show themselves in the congregation or in the community of Vaishnava that how strict they are following the rules and regulations of their particular ashram. A very strict brahmachari, a very strict householder, grahastha, very strict vanaprastha, and very strict sannyasi. They show themselves, but internally, what is going on in their mind? They are having a private life. A devotee, he shouldn't or she shouldn't have a private life. There is no such thing, private life. He should be open. Because when he is open, then his seniors can see the fault in him and they can correct him. But if he's going to have his own private room, own private phone, own private Wi-Fi, own private many other things, so what will happen to him? He will watch those nonsense activities which he should not have to supposed to watch it. These are another thing. And the third one is Nirpeksha devotees are detached and live as a renunciates. How they think? A Nirpeksha devotee may exhibit hypocrisy by thinking, it's very powerful, pay your attention, I am an advanced Vaishnava. He's completely renounced. It could be in any of the ashrama, brahmacharya, householder, vanaprastha, and grahastha. They show themselves, they're so advanced, acting superior to others. Even they start instructing their seniors also. Srila Gaur Govind Maharaj says that a person, if he really wants to be absorbed in the chanting, he should watch out his behavior, especially with the seniors. Okay? Even though if you have some skill here and there, which is not there in the Vaishnava, like the senior Vaishnava, maybe he's not good into book distribution, maybe he's not good into kirtan, maybe he's not good into other things. But if Krishna has blessed you with those talents, it does not mean you go and instruct them, Prabhuji, you know, your tune was not good, or this is not good, you should do like this, and so other things. It is a very, very default in our spiritual life. We are not meant to, supposed to correct our seniors. For them, Krishna is there, for their gurus are there, or their peers are there. Those who know them for many years, let them do their job. Why we are getting ourselves into the trouble? Collecting more funds than required. Okay? Where do we see this? Collecting more funds what we require. Outside, of course. You can't get those things in the temple. That means those who are preachers, when they go outside to the householder's life and many other things, when people give them donation, okay, they're supposed to get everything and give it to the Krishna, give it to the temple, straight away, not just holding for themselves. Take only that much which is required to transport yourself from one place to another place or for your needs. But accumulating unnecessary, maybe in the future, I may use it. Maybe in the future, I will do this. Because as soon as a brahmachari and sannyasi start having a money, privately saving, so in his mind, he creates many plans for the future. For them, there is no future. They have only one thing to do. Satmika buddhi ekeha kuru nandana. They have only one purpose to live in this world or in their ashram, and the purpose is to fulfill the order of their spiritual master. But as soon as the money comes, if you see, not as a brahmachari or sannyasi, if you see, if the householders are there, if they have extra money accumulated, which they don't need to accumulate, but in case if they do have, what they do? They start making the plan. I've got extra money, so where should I do the investment? Should I buy another property? Should I open another business? Should I, go to somewhere else for our, another holiday package? There are many other plans are there. When the money is not there, they will not make a plan. I said, anyway, we don't have a money. Let's, whatever we are doing, engage in the service of the Lord. Let it keep going. But as soon as the money comes, money bewilders the mind of the person. Instead of engaging in the Lord's service, immediately the person starts making plans for his own sense gratification here. And another thing is associating improperly with the opposite sex in the name of spiritual practice. What's the example here? Associating with opposite sex in the name of spiritual practicings. A brahmachari preaching to some matajis on the name of spiritual practice and having a subtle association or subtle sexual desire, or vice versa. No, we shouldn't have to. Let them preach their own gender. Or if it's not, there is a common class going on, let it be together and here. But individually preaching to opposite sex is very dangerous. There was one person, he just said, he was being caught, he was preaching to some opposite sex, then his senior caught him. I said, why are you doing it? He says, Prabhuji, I met her on a book distribution. Oh, that's very nice. So I am taking care of her spiritual life. He says, why you are doing it? There are some other Matajis are there in the ashram. So why don't you channelize her to them? They will take care of you. If you are taking care of her, then who will take care of you? If you got caught by her, then you finished. Befriending materialistic people with the hope for wealth, which we have already discussed. Being concerned with external dress and rules, or neglecting the main purpose of spiritual life, keeping one heart locked in a box while externally engaging in bhakti. Can we see how heavy our acharyas has given us the instruction? If we go deeper into our practice, more or less we are also being affected by this type of mentality. And more or less we can see that, oh, I'm not being affected. No, there is a subtle effect. Okay? My spiritual master says, if you are enjoying anything subtly, which is not favorable to your spiritual life, no wonder, it's just a matter of time, it will take the shape of a gross. So that mentality has to be given up straight away. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Brahmaji, okay, he was after his own daughter Vak, just to union with her because she was so beautiful. But later on, when he was being checked by other people, then he gave up the mentality straight away. Because if he carries on the mentality, what will happen to him? He will fall down physically. There is another example. Srila Prabhupada says that there was one guru and one disciple. They were just going through a village and they happened to cross the river, and they saw there was one Mataji. She was waiting to get a help to cross the river, and she says, can you help me? The guru asked her to get on her shoulder because the water of the river, it was very deep, and he helped her to cross the river. Okay, and the disciple saw, oh my God, my guru gives so much instruction on the brahmacharya things, this and that, but how come my guru, he was having or carrying a woman on his shoulder? Okay, 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour, 5 hours went away. Then suddenly a disciple could not hold himself. He says, let me get the remedy for my question. Okay, he says, Guru Maharaj, this one thing is, bothering me. I just saw you 4 or 5 hours ago. You helped one Mataji to cross the river, but do you think it is, appropriate? And Guru says, look, whatever that circumstances was there at the point of time, I did help. I carried her on my shoulder, but you are carrying her on your mind. I carried her just for 5-10 minutes, and I dropped her there. That was my service that time. But you are carrying her in your mind for 4, 5, 6 hours. Or maybe if I don't check you here now, you may carry on throughout your whole life. And that will take the shape of a gross. That's why it's very, very careful, because we are having the position on such a high position. High position comes with higher responsibilities. Daksha, no doubt, he was a well-qualified Brahmana. Okay, he was very educated, he knows the Vedas in and out, this and that. But due to his mentality not to seeing the other person being elevated than him, he could not tolerate. And we have also seen our life also, somewhere we see some devotees who has come after us and they are surpassing us and growing, and their popularities, their preaching, their everything is going more than us. What we do? We start making a plan to disfame the person. We start spreading the rumor and many other things. We see Daksha here in first Manvantara, he's doing this. Okay? Because he's going to punish very soon. Very soon. And who did this? Nandishwara. He cursed during the arena in chapter 2. He cursed that very soon, O Daksha, you are going to have a head of a goat. And this prediction is going to be fulfilled very soon in the coming verses or a chapter there. And when he gets it, he apologizes. And Lord Shiva forgives him for his mistake. He completely forgives him. But look at that, he took as a birth as a Brahmana. But now his second birth in a Chakshusha mantra, which is 6th mantra, he's going to take birth in a Kshatriya family, Prachetas. He's going to become the son of Prachetas. But the mentality is still there. Because next time he's going to offend another great devotee. Who is that? Narada Muni. Because Narada Muni is preaching. He's making his sons brahmacharis, celibates, and he cursed them. His mentality is still going on. This is a one side of looking. And another side we can see that how we should have to develop our qualities, our character, exactly as Lord Shiva. Because he was completely aloof from all the honor and dishonor. This is one incident here. And the another incident which Lord Shiva shows his exalted position, that he doesn't need the opulence of this material world, in Canto 8. Which pastime it is? Canto 8? Samudra Manthan. Samudra Manthan, when these demigods and demons, when they were churning the ocean, okay, very badly, they were churning, because what they were after the nectar. They will say when the nectar will come, they will become immortal. They will become so powerful. They'll become so powerful that nobody can kill them. Okay? They started the project, task started, and guess what came first? The poison, halahal wish. Halahal wish. Such a powerful wish it was there, then it was spreading all over the universe, and people were thinking they are going to die. So they went to Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu, and they say, what is the solution? They say, solution, I have my devotee. He's very, very powerful. He can do that job. He said, call Lord Shiva. And when Lord Shiva comes, okay, he drinks the poison and holds his hair in his neck. He's been called a Nilakantha because his neck became blue. And he's been known as Nilakantha since then. And after that, he did his service and he went away to meditate upon the Lord, because he was being asked by Indra and other demigods, my dear sir, Lord Vishnu has asked us to call you for this task. Would you mind coming and just doing this favor upon us? And he did, and he went away. But look at the duality of this material world. Who helps you, you doesn't even recognize or appreciate that person later on. When the nectar came out, all the demigods and demons, they had the nectar. But they forgot to call Lord Shiva. If somebody help you in your task, is it not our duty to call that person and give them whatever we can give them as a share? Like if somebody has helped you in cooking, it's a wonderful feast for 50, 60 items. He came and he did job and he went away for 4, 5, 6 hours. And later on, you have your feast with your family member, but you forgot to call that person and ask him, Prabhuji, you helped us so much. Do you mind coming and honoring with us? These demigods and these demons, they forgot to call Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva didn't bother to have that nectar, because that's a material nectar, because he was already relishing the nectar of holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So he was already having this nectar, the person who is already having the taste, which is higher than the material nectar. So he doesn't bother, because he was already Atma Rama. Atma Rama cha munyo nirganthe api urukrame. Ahitakim, what was that? Ahitakim bhakti iddam bhuta gunohari. Yeah. So the people who are Atma Ramas, they does not bother, the material of this world, opulence of this world, position of this world, because they are completely satisfied within. Why we are the people of this material world, we are dependent of our happiness upon others. If this person will come into my life, then my life become very joy. Have you seen it? When a person is about to get married and they find their partner, and on a Facebook, Instagram, they glorify like anything. Oh, my life was such an empty place. When you came, you blossom my life, you bring the light in my life, and so many flattery words. And you see, after exactly 2 years, they write something else. Just the opposite of that flowery words. Okay, because their happiness is dependent upon others. Okay, if I get this clothes, if I get this device, if I get this phone, if I get this position, I will be very happy. But look at Lord Shiva. He doesn't need to be happy and depend on others. He was completely Atmarama. Because if you find the happiness in self, then you are you are on a very highly elevated position. Because that's where Srila Prabhupada, that's where our Srimad Bhagavatam and all the acharyas wants us to come on that position. Lord says, Trigunya Vishya Veda Nistragunya Bhavarjuna Nirdvando Nitto Satvotha Niryoga Kshemam Atmavam. Means this whole Vedic scriptures, whatever we see, they are working under the modes of material nature. So you have to become Atmavan. So you have to become self-realized soul. Actually, we don't need all these things to be happy in this world. A person's real happiness is the service of the Lord. If a person gets the service of the Lord, he becomes the most happiest person. For that, we need to require to hear a lot of things. Okay? If she is saying, it is better to execute one occupational duty than to criticize others. So that means she is saying to her father in a very gentle way, mind your own business. Mind your own business, my father, mind your own business. If we mind our own business, then we can be away from so many dangers. Okay? In Bhagavad Gita, also, Lord Krishna says to Arjuna that we should do our occupational duty imperfectly rather than doing someone else's duty perfectly. Have you heard this verse or not? Same thing here, Mother Sati is also repeating. We have to stick to our position. Okay, that's why we have a conflict in our daily life, because we are not stick to our position, we are not stick to our occupational duty, we do something else. When I was in Delhi, there was a festival, Janmashtami. Okay, we see in Janmashtami in India, 100, 200,000, 300,000 people come to visit. To accumulate or to serve them, the temple, what they do, they have stalls outside on the road. Have you seen it? Stalls on the, like, there is a stall of book table, there is a stall of henna, there is a stall of chaat papadi, there is a stall of pizza, there is a stall of dancing, there is a stall of shoe. There are many other stalls were there. So I was doing my service there, and I was seeing that two devotees, they were arguing. Okay, and they saw me, they say, oh, Prabhuji is in saffron, let's go and just talk to him, explain our thing, then he can tell us who is right and who is not right. And the person says, Prabhuji, I was trying to help this person, so and so, blah, 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 he's not taking me, he's not honoring me, so many other things. I just asked him, I said, Prabhu, what service is given to you? He says, Prabhu, the service was given to me to take care of the shoes. Those people who come, I have to stick with the shoes. I said, okay, no problem. Prabhuji, what service given it to you? Henna. So I told him, why you are interfering to his service there? Did he ask you to help you? No. How did you feel? Did any authority told you to help him? No. Then why you are interfering into his business? If he has any doubt, he may come and ask you, but you are leaving your service and going and help his service, which is maybe perfectly, but he doesn't need it. Let him do, let him figure it out. But if you go poke your nose in there, your finger, so what will happen to you? You will burn out. Okay? Because whatever Lord Shiva is doing, okay, that Daksha is not able to catch it. He forgot to see his spiritual side. He was only meditating on his material side. He was meditating on his material side. He forgot to see the spiritual side. By seeing the spiritual side, if he could have seen it, he could not have done this. But Medha, Medha means Graham Medhi. Medhi means what? What is the definition of Medhi in the scriptures? Nidhi means envious. A Grahamedhi, a householder without the spiritual life, they become jealous by seeing others' property. When they go for some party or some anything, just to see someone's house, and the wife comes home, husband comes home, they see, did you see? They got the new plasma TV, more bigger than us. They got the third car. We have only one car. Their kids are going to so and so school. Our kids are going only in a government school. There's so many comparisons are there. And they start having jealousy. So we need to check ourselves somewhere by seeing the advancement of other Vaishnava. Are we becoming happy or are we becoming jealous? That's how we can check our spiritual life. By seeing other Vaishnava, we must get pleased. But when we see the other Vaishnava is being recognized or is being popular, then if we are feeling jealous, so no doubt, this is the problem here. So we need to rectify it. And the only solution is increase and improve our sadhana. Morning program, chanting properly, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, and learn everything to respect others. It says it takes zero investment to respect somebody. It doesn't cost much. Okay? Even though I have to have so many things to say, but time does not permit. If you have any questions to ask or any reflection, any correction, please feel free to give your input. Use that one also, Sachin, that mic for online users. It's not working. Okay, let's leave offline users.
He ate it, and then he said, Prabhupada, it's not offered yet.
Yeah.
Prabhupada is fine, but you cannot do it.
Yeah.
And you say, God is way above.
Way above the rules and regulations. Yeah.
My question was, towards the end you were mentioning about this particular statement where to execute one's own occupational duty and to oppose others' duty. Where when we live in a society, many times others' duty also affects our duty. There's a lot of overlap.
Such as?
For example, say the devotee cook did not cook lunch in time. So then the devotee is leaving for Harinam, they get late. So then they have to poke their nose in lunch, cooking department so that they can make sure their duty is handled properly. So what may be some of the things we have to take care, because that's where criticism comes. Because all our duties are interdependent when we are living in this society. So what are some of the tips you want to offer so that we can, there is no friction?
So maybe I don't know if I will be able to satisfy you with the answer, but all I see are good, because when I was getting trained as a brahmachari, so my seniors, they told me a brahmachari is supposed to be a fire brigade employee. He just work like that. Have you seen the fire brigade people? They sleep with their dress, with all the equipment. As soon as the siren alarms, they don't have a thing to think, where's my dhoti, where's my kurta, they just jump for the service. It's a one-time thing. Because we are living in a society where everything is volunteer. Okay? And second thing to look for this point is, a Vaishnava is a Vaishnava, a great Vaishnava, he does the needful. If there is a need and authority has been called, as you gave the example, the person meant to cook for the Lord, and if the person is not there, and if the other team is going for Harinam, and if there is a need to, because they both are service to the Lord. Going to Harinam is a service to the Lord, and feeding the Lord is a service to the Lord. But it doesn't happen every day. It just happens once a while. So if that situation is there, then we can see that, okay, not a problem. Maybe if there are eight people are going for Harinam, So let me, allow myself or my team member, can you please could stay for 2 people, 3 people, can you cook for the Lord? So in this way, with the transcendental adjustment, we can please both the Lord. So that means the person is not attached to his particular service. If you have read or if you have done Bhakti Shastri, there is a ladder, it's called yoga ladder. Okay? And on a third, it comes like Nishkama Karma Yoga. In a Nishkama Karma Yoga and the real Bhakti Yoga, the difference is the Nishkama Karma Yoga also offers his service to the Lord fully, and a Bhakti Yogi also does. But Nishkama Yogi, why is it on the lower rank? Because he's attached to the service. I am going to do only this service. Don't call me for anything else. But the yogi who is on the Bhakta Pathwa, I don't care. Whatever service you give me, I am attached to the service, not attached to the particular service. Some people say, Prabhuji, I just want to do book distribution. I don't want to do anything else. I don't want to cook for the Lord. I don't want to do anything. I just want to come do the deity worship. I don't want to go for preaching outside. No, wherever there is a need means that's called the real Brahmana. That's called the real Vaishnava. Because he kills his own liking, and his liking becomes the liking of the God or the liking of the Vaishnavas. I mean, that's my answer to you. If Prabhuji has anything to add. Do you want to add anything, Prabhuji? Would like to give anything else? Yeah. Yeah, or anyone else, if they have another answer to it. Yeah, one thing I would like to add into that. If you see in the Dwarka pastime, it says that every day all the demigods, they come and take the darshan of the Lord, and they are in the lined up. And Prabhupada says there, they all are asking, my dear Lord, kindly engage me in your service. But if we have been called in emergency to do the service, so we feel ourselves fortunate. There were billions of people are there. Krishna may ask others to do it, but if he has chosen us, so that means it's my good fortune. So that's how we attract the mercy. One time I just heard this beautiful line that Krishna gives the toughest battle to his best soldiers. Not everyone can do it, but yeah, Prabhu.
It's an aspect of individual and collective surrender.
Both,
And
yeah.
The quality of the bona fide spiritual master will never ask the disciples to do anything
Yeah.
that he himself is not willing to do or has done, and even with more surrender and intensity on that aspect of winter time. Prabhupada came here at the beginning of winter, the end of October, beginning of November 1965, with no help, and persevered through tremendous difficulty and hardship because he had such absolute faith and determination that he wanted his spiritual master and personally wanted to see it accomplished.
Yeah.
So that is our line, and that we should all meditate on that. And as Prabhupada always preached, you never are the loser by surrendering to Krishna. We think that we're the loser, but I have personal experience that we gain it by unlimited obligations.
Jai, Haribo.
So maybe it takes some practice or some experience or some seniority, but the sooner the better to come to that platform
Yeah.
and benefit for all of the entities on this planet if we do surrender that way. At home, our real vacation or pilgrimage or whatever we're seeking is
Anybody else? I think Mataji has. Okay, there are a few more.
Thank you for this class. Regarding the service, I just heard what you told me about services, how they approach it. There needs to be like two types of services. Something what you like to do, something what you don't like to do, and something what requires. So if you do them, because if we do always, something what you don't like and something what is neutral, then there will be no juice in it if you don't do something what you like. But also if you only what you like, then there will be no cooperation, no respect for other people.
Yeah.
So it needs to be very balanced.
Yeah.
I think it's very nice points, Catherine, to you and the questions and comments. You are one of those thoughts I give it to mine. There's Platna Ratri Evashyaya and Testimania, that's it. I am a busy day, 317. But when we take pleasure in self, whose human life is one of self-realization and is satisfied in self only, fully satiated for him there's no duty.
To perform. Yeah, thank you. I think Mataji has one at the back. Yeah. Yeah. Services comes with blessings. I don't know how many of us we know, because we go and front of the Lord we say, kindly God blessed us. So the blessings comes with instruction. Blessings comes with the service. So if we are more engaged, we can see ourselves, we are more blessed by so many things. Okay, anybody else? If it's not, thank you so much. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande.